blood flowing through our veins. Sitting in the bleachers in the rain. We've shed a million tears and drank as many old style beers out at the game. Let's go coffee, Son Ranto.
With Michael.
Son Ranto.
And Crawley.
Son Ranto and the lovable loser. Son Ranto.
With Michael.
Son Ranto.
And Crawley.
Son Ranto and the lovable losers. Son Ranto.
At first, you sounded kind of like one of those demolition derby or monster truck guys, and then actually you sounded like the motor of an actual truck there, Michael.
Yeah, see, I was actually trying to go for like that guttural death metal, Son Ranto, but it didn't work.
Yeah, well, welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Danny Rocket. That was the lovely strains of Mr. Michael Cotton, long time co-host of the show, and
long-time listener, first-time talker.
And good old Crawley's Cubs coming to you live from the Crawley's Clubhouse. And, that's kind of a tongue twister, I was thinking. I tried to say it the other day, and I totally blotched it. I was like, Crawley's Clubhouse, because R and L are tough back-to-back, They live in different parts of your mouth. So, I don't know. Maybe that's something to, I don't know.
I can't rebrand at this point, champ. I'm all in.
Yeah.
I really like how Danny suggested rebranding. Crawley's been doing this for like fucking 10 years.
I'm like, you know what? I think you should rename the whole thing. Your entire pandemic project, it really needs a new name. No,
how about Crawley's Fun Fort?
Well, the thing that's hard about the tongue twisters, people will be drinking the Club 400 beer down there. Where are you? I'm at Crawley's Clubhouse. I was like, where are you? Yeah. Anyway, welcome everybody. Thanks for tuning into the show live. This is, of course, brought to you by our 107 Patreon supporters. And please join us after this broadcast, because we're going to be going live on the Colorcast app, which is a brand new thing, but they're paying us to do it, so we're going on there. And it's Color, COLORCA. .st. That's their website. You can find it in the iPhone app store, because I don't know, they don't have the Android, but it's coming, and it's kind of like what we were doing at Green Room, except for it's different. So just show up and you'll see how it is, and we got to work it a little bit different, but you'll see. Also, on tonight's show, I only have 8 of these left. Where is it? The Chance postcards, Chance for a Chance. I got that one upside down. Chance for a Chance, and now I got it upside down again. We're going to be giving away one of these, sent to you by me with a nice little message inscribed. I always say I love people. It's kind of a nice thing. I like sending postcards. I realized I used to send a lot of postcards. So what you got to, and I don't do it anymore, but now I'm back doing it because of the people writing into the chat, #Chance. And if you write #Chance into the chat, you have a chance to win a postcard to you by me. And, let's get into it. This was an exciting week. We met Marcus Stroman just the other day. What day was that? That was like last Wednesday, something like that?
Was Wednesday.
Yeah, last Wednesday. We had a talk with Marcus Stroman and the Lost Boys. That was put together by Rob Freeman, the pitching ninja. And anyway, it was really cool. I mean, Crawley, how did you feel about that? You were more into it than I was. I was walking around in the snow. I was shoveling the sidewalk while it was all happening outside.
You're on the bus.
I was actually on the Metro train, like that I never take, paying my fare. Like, it was a disaster.
Well, what ended up happening is that there's going to be, Marcus Stroman is a really cool guy, and it's not going to be the last time that we see or hear from him. He really wants to get involved in the community. He is hooked up with the Lost Boys now. So what that was Marcus wanted to talk to the Lost Boys. He wants to be involved with them and the good things that Levante is doing. And so what ends up happening is that Rob puts it together that we're going to do a live stream, but the code was only for the Lost Boys. And then kind of last minute, we said, well, what? I said, what about the, the Patreons, the people that help pay to put this on? Like, what could we do to possibly give them a benefit? But we had to kind of keep it a little bit of hush hush because they didn't want like Zoom links going out everywhere. So trying to keep it, mainly for the kids. And some ranters I know were there. So that was kind of cool. It was to hear Marcus speak. And I think that he's going to be really popular among Cub fans all year, but he's a great guy. And, it was a lot of fun talking to him and getting to ask questions because when, it was for the kids, but you know how kids are. At first, they're real quiet. They don't want to say anything. Then all of a sudden, so Rob and I are kind of hitting questions.
And then they don't want to stop telling stories.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden, once they started going, they didn't need us anymore. The kids took over. So
how many home runs do you want to hit this year? He's like, all
right.
of them.
Yeah, he was great with the kids, though.
He was really great with the kids. And not only that, he was super down to earth. And he gave everybody just a little bit over an hour of his time. And he was such an interesting dude. I asked him about why he wears number 0. And, I had no idea what he was going to answer, but what he answered was like something very philosophical about how the 0 has no beginning and an end because it's round. And, you can see inside a 0. It's an empty hole that can be filled. And like, he had just a really amazing answer for wearing that number.
That's so weird. That was my wedding vows when I was giving my wife the ring. I was telling her all about the empty hole that she was filling in. Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
He is a graduate from Duke. So he is a smart guy. It's not just baseball. He's into entrepreneurship. He has HDMH, which is his clothing company, and his foundation. Height.
For a second there, I thought it was just something that they don't test for anymore.
No, height doesn't measure heart is what it stands for. And so this was really cool. The Lost Boys kind of said we enjoyed yesterday's calls with Stro, Pitching Ninja, and Crawley's Cubs. And so you could kind of see there was Rob and I right there asking questions. Levante looking as sharp as always. Wearing more Cubby blue, I tend to notice lately. Rob right here from Pitching Ninja. Obviously, you've seen his gear everywhere and his GIFs and GIFs and all that fun stuff, his videos. The coolest thing I always thought about the whole thing before the kids started asking, one of the kids asked, what pitches do you throw? And Marcus kind of got a baseball and kind of started showing them different grips. And he's not flicking me off there. Don't worry. But so you could kind of see here, he's kind of messing around, kind of showing the kids what he throws, how many seams he kind of holds the ball across. And he's a really interesting guy. We talked about like who his favorite player is, and who he loved was Javi Baez and Francisco Lindor.
We all did.
Exactly. And he said he was shocked that Javi didn't, because I said, did you talk to Javi about, Chicago or anything after you found out you were coming here? And basically Stroman was a deadline deal. He's like, I had to get on a red eye and do all these tests. I barely had time to even like breathe when I was in Chicago because I asked him about the clubhouse. But he said he loves Javi and Lindor and just. And I'm like, of course, sinker ball pitcher. Who wouldn't love those two guys behind you,
And he loved Chicago, too, as well. He had nothing but great things to say about Chicago. It's like one of his favorite cities, like along with Toronto, which makes a lot of sense because I feel like they're almost sister cities, even though they're in different countries. They remind me of each other very much if you've been to Toronto.
But the funny thing he was talking about that I thought was interesting was he didn't like Lindor or Baez just for their great play, but just how their attitude and what they bring to the game. And he loved that. And he kind of thought of himself like, hey, I'm a pitcher because I'm good at it, but I like being a middle infielder, And so he kind of thought of himself as a middle infielder. So
that was one of those gifts that was rolling around on the internet a while back about how well he fields his position. I mean,
yeah, well, he talked about being an athlete first, and and like you said, he did talk also about wanting to be a middle infielder, play shortstop, and wanting to play all the positions. Like he loved being out there and doing everything. So he understands like fundamentally the game. I think he just loves the game, and he loves just moving his body and moving as well as he can. And he's super like grounded in this way. And I think this is something that's new to him, maybe with the mental skill situation. He talked about using his feet as hands. That was his goal. And every day he gets up and he takes barefoot walks and he wants to feel the ground underneath him. He said he used to be very superstitious And he kind of gave all that up, and he just kind of goes with the flow, listens to different kind of music, no matter how he's feeling, and staying like kind of one with the energy of the world. Like, dude, if this guy's got an ERA below 4, Chicago is going to carry him around on their shoulders like all summer long.
Mental skills is a big thing for him, and taking care of his mental health. He really made a point of that, and really brought that home with the kids too. You know, if you ever need help, talk to somebody, don't be afraid. So he's a really interesting guy. Like I said, on a very deep philosophical level.
Yeah, we're going to love him. And even better about Marcus Stroman is he slaps down trolls left and right with his iron fists of doom. I mean, I'm loving
this. So this was amazing to me. You guys do this like great thing. You post kind of highlights on Twitter, and the Brewers and best fans in baseball pop up and start talking trash to the guy doing like a great thing for children, and they're talking trash to him. It's ridiculous.
There was a lot of different things. And so Marquis put something out about Kerry Wood. Okay. And Kerry Wood kind of had this thing where it was like a Marquis thing. And he's just like, you know, the fans stuck by me through thick and thin. I love Chicago fans, blah, blah, blah. Right. And so it's this whole Kerry Wood thing. And he said, Kerry Wood said, Cub fans are just different. It's just different in Chicago. They travel. Yankees fans travel too, but it's a different kind of feeling you get. They don't quit on you. And Marcus Stroman says, can't wait to go out there and compete for this fan base.
Totally.
Absolutely. Like, right. Just totally nothing. So, of course, dipshit Cardinal fan, I hope you enjoy missing the playoffs. Again, this time as a Cub. The Cubs literally got rid of players that made them a third place at least. The only players recognizable is Hendricks, Hayward, former Cardinal Wisdom, and you. Why would you pick a team full of minor leaguers?
Andy misspelled Hayward.
Yeah. and it is a fair criticism, part of it.
Stroman, though, basically said, how miserable is your life that you come on here and use all 140 of your characters to project your insecurities on others? LMAO. I guarantee the energy you choose to spend on hate, negativity can be directed towards better areas in your life. But hey, that's just me, LOL. And then this idiot guy, whoever this guy is, he says Corbin Burns better. Marcus says, I agree. He is right now. He's one of my favorites. So he just swatting these guys down left and right. And then, of course, everybody's got to love this one right here.
Oh, yeah.
Stroman writes down, man clown for Manfred. Man clown and his boys need to figure it out and stop ruining the game of baseball. And Jazz replies, that's a fine. And Marcus Stroman says, he's been finding me for the most ridiculous shit over years. Old ass dinosaurs trying to ruin the unbelievable game of baseball.
Yeah, baby. Oh, God.
I love it.
Oh, God. He's so good.
And Danny, you did a nice little man clown TikTok too after that.
Oh, yeah. I did the Rihanna song Man Down. Dum, 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 man clown.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I was hoping. I was hoping
frightening.
Stroh saw it, because, like, I'll say this much about Stroh. Like, he was so cool. Like, on that call, he was such a nice guy that I want to meet him so bad that I haven't really felt this kind of like excitement about a player in a long time. And I mean, I was excited to get Stroman. I was like, yeah, he's a great pitcher. You know, he's going to be fun to watch. But like seeing him on that call, seeing him smack down these trolls on Twitter, it's just been amazing. You know,
I will tell you will meet him before the year's up. I guarantee you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely going to make a point of it. So the other bit of news that we got this week, or it's not news because it hasn't really happened yet, but it's the Cubs the New York Post reported that Sinclair is going to do a streaming only basically app of, I guess it's all of their properties, but Marquee Network would be included in this, where it would be a standalone situation like Hulu or Netflix or whatever. And it would be $18 a month. And then they clarified, well, it's for a bunch of teams that mostly you don't care about. Probably it's like their basketball and their hockey and this other stuff that they have. The Yankees, there's like maybe a third of the MLB teams that are involved, possibly. So I don't know. It seems like it's going to be gambling heavy, which I could see that app integration happening really easy. Oh, you want to bet on this next pitch? Just click this button, bet $1 or whatever it is. You know, they can make that really easy. If I don't know how the legalities and all that stuff, but it's what they want to do. It seems the future, and they want to charge $18 for it, which doesn't seem like
here's the thing, guys, is that everybody seems to want what doesn't exist anymore, which is WGN in the 1980s. Okay, that ship has passed. And so a lot of people were mad at Marquee because you couldn't get it outside of Chicago and And the one thing we've been asking for this whole time is a standalone app to be able to watch all the Cubs stuff. Now, this seems to be modeled off what we talked about on this show, the NBA Fast Pass. And so you would pay $18 and then you get to pick like certain teams. And it's an idea that is not fully developed yet. But it was reported on. Somebody leaked it. But honestly, like that's what people have been wanting ever since WGN's been gone. Now, does people want to pay $18? No, of course not. But
right.
I don't know what it's going to look like.
That's the big thing. I mean, of course, everybody wants to be able to watch their favorite team on an app and not have to worry about all the background dealings with, you know, the Dish Network or whatever they're having troubles with. We just want to watch the games. But that $18, that was some sticker shock, because if I'm not mistaken, I don't think there's a single app out there that costs $18. I think
Bernie said in the chat Netflix prices, but I think you can be at like a certain Netflix tier that might cost.
You can choose. Yeah, I chose the $10 Netflix tier. You can be up to, I think the highest it is though is like $16.99. So it's even above the Netflix price.
I think I'm not sure exactly everything that it would entail and everything that you would get, but it is, like I said, it's more modeled off the NBA, what they're doing.
Well, what's crazy about it, and I have to point out this article, I just dropped a link from Cubs Insider in the chat. It's an article written by our good friend, Evan Altman, and it's titled Cubs Reportedly Talking to Sinclair About Launching $18 a Month Direct Service. And it's a great article because Evan really lays out the debt that Sinclair is in. And it's pretty steep. In fact, if you remember a story a while back about Manfred actually smacking down Sinclair because they overpaid for these RSNs, and they did it with almost 80% debt deal. And this stuff, I mean, you see the commercials that are on Marquee Network. That's what Sinclair's getting. So, I mean,
again, with Sinclair, it was bizarre because no RSNs were losing their value. Regional sports networks were losing their value. It would be like a couple of years ago, right across from my work, they opened up a family video and everybody did like that dog head turn, like
that still exists.
You're opening a family video.
They must have
it lasted like
snuff films or something.
Right. It lasted like it lasted like 6 months, which was
family video was mafia family video.
Yeah, they're selling something else out there. That's for freaking sure.
It lasted about 6 months, which was about 5 months longer than I gave it. But it was like, why did Sinclair gobble all this stuff up? When it was, again, like I said, it was basically a dying industry with cord cutters and people being like, look, there's a lot of people that don't watch sports. And when all of a sudden cable companies are like, we're thinking about not having sports and making your deals cheaper. People are like, shit, yeah, sign me up for that.
Yeah, well, Evan really thinks the gambling is going to be a part of this. And I don't think it's just the advertising dollars. I think we're going to see app integration. The Ricketts basically run their own sports book. Everybody's in bed with each other. Sports gambling.
The new robot umps are going to go right to your phone.
Yeah, it'll just be automatic. Like you bet on this strike. I mean, bet on this ball. Like you could bet on just anything. So if they get these apps going, and this might be the very preliminary kind of test out situation. It's like we're going to go on Colorcast after this show. That's maybe the future of radio. And then it's going to become this Spotify thing, and Rogan's on Spotify and they're doing podcasts, and Audible's doing podcasts, and these streaming services like this, it's in its infancy and it's going somewhere. And with sports and the betting and an integrated app, I could just see them like already having that as we're going to get everybody on here. Then we're going to put this other overlay on it, and it's going to be just printing money left and right. So speaking of printing money left and right, that's how kind of we keep our lights on here at the podcast. So we're gonna
we print our own money.
We print our
We're
own
going
money.
to jail soon. But
It's called Ranto Coin, and you can buy it. So you got to get in now, though. No, we're gonna just play a little commercial. So stick with us. Here's a commercial for Son Ranto shopping. No, swag. I'm gonna do a swag.
Do you like having sex? Me too. That's why I always wear my Son Ranto swag shirts every time I'm looking to get some. It's the only t-shirt guaranteed to get you laid. Knock boots in your shankless shirt, bump uglies in a ranter long sleeve, ride the skin-busted Tuna Town in a Dabbing Cubes fan shirt, take gold one-eye to the optometrist in your bull penis awesome attire, or smash pissers in a spagog shirt. Son Ranto swag shirts are just like people. There are many different sizes and colors to choose from. Plus, at Son Ranto's swag store, you'll find vintage John Baker Day, Designated Hater, and Matt Cameron drawn rally titty designs on everything from shirts and hoodies to baby onesies, bags, and hats. Go to sonranto.com/swag and check out all the sexy styles guaranteed to get you laid. You'll be stuffing the soft taco in no time. sonranto.com/swag, guaranteed to get you laid.
Wearing Son Ranto swag products not guaranteed to get you laid. Son Ranto swag is not responsible for your sex life. Son Ranto swag is for entertainment purposes only.
Welcome back to the show. There was actually quite a bit of kind of fake news this week. At least I think we're getting to where pitchers and catchers would be reporting, and everybody's getting a little itchy. So we're hearing
real itchy.
Real itchy. So Bleacher Nation reported that Bruce Levine talked about it on his weekend show on 670 The Score, Inside the Clubhouse, that Rizzo might be coming back to the Cubs. Like now, so I want to talk about this. This is interesting to me because it seems like a planted story. I'm just going to start there. And Crawley,
I listened to this show. The show is a great show. Inside the Clubhouse on Sundays, and it's Bruce Levine and David Hall, and they've had different hosts over the years. It was just kind of hypotheticals, you know what I mean? And basically everybody's desperate for content right now. You know, whether you got Bleacher Nation or NBC Sports or Real Club, everybody's desperate because there's nothing. You know how many shows we've done where it's like, oh boy, how are we going to fill a show? You know what I mean?
I actually never have that thought.
I'm always like, how do we have so much shit again?
Yeah, Crawley, get out your bobblehead collection. We're showing all 100 tonight.
But in general, it's just been like that. So it's just kind of like one of those things that, like, okay, could Rizzo be a fit? Which of course you could use a first baseman. The whole point is that Rizzo could be one of those guys that could do a short 2 to 3 year deal at about 40 million. And so it'd be short-term, high AAV. So you'd pay him like 20, 22 million, 2-year deal with a club option on it or something like that. And so Rizzo would get basically 20 million a year for, he'd make like 40 million is basically what he'd make.
Yeah.
But it's really like, okay, you know, I think it was just more, this sounds good and it makes a good story than it actually being something close.
So what do you think? Do you see this happening? Or do you think
no? I mean,
just a story that to get clicks, or was it a plant from the Cubs?
That's what you were trying to say a little bit ago about a sort of a plant. I don't think it's a plant from the Cubs. I think it's a plant from Rizzo's agent because he's going to tie him to the place that everybody loves him. He's going to tie him to the place that everybody knows him from, and then he's going to say they could be interested, like in this. 2 to 3 for 40 million. Why would he do that? So that every other club out there who is looking at Rizzo at all knows, they're like, oh, that's our starting number. We can't go less than that. You know what I mean? I do believe it's a plant by the agent to sort of set the pricing for where Rizzo's at so that and make it seem like the Cubs are sort of interested, so other teams might start to move a little bit quicker. That's what it felt like to me.
Cindy Spangler says it's just to get us excited, and that's all, in my opinion. And I think that could be something just like, hey, let's stir the fans up. They're trying to sell tickets to a season that we don't know what's going to happen. And Little Yumper writes in all honesty, I could see the Cubs doing this to mask the fact that they decided to let generational talents walk again. In this case, Correa. I mean, the way I see it is like you get Rizzo because it just puts butts in seats.
Yep.
You know, Rizzo starts this season. Everybody loves Frank Schwindel, but, you know, he doesn't have to be here. He could be back up to Rizzo, whose back hurts. The DH, you know, maybe is going to be in the National League. It's not decided yet, but, you know, all signs are pointing to it. But I'm going to give Michael that tiny sliver of
There
hope.
are no signs pointing to it. Nothing is fucking pointing to it. The only thing that points to it is every fucking
Everybody.
asshole
Just
out there is like, I
everybody.
think the DH is coming. The DH is coming. Fucking, there's been nothing. Nothing.
Should we take the night off of
motherfuckers
Color
didn't-
Cast when it's finally announced, Danny, that the DH is here? We should just let Michael have it for the night.
Well,
Oh my God.
John
He-
Vasky, the day that happens, instead of hashtag chance to win the postcard for me, we're gonna have hashtag fuck the DH all night long, and I'll send you something.
Here's the thing, guys. This is the last thing that Jed Hoyer wants is people starting this all up again. He already had to deal with the "you traded Rizzo" shit once. If the Cubs don't do well, what do you think he's going to do twice? This is not going to happen. The Cubs have literally, I don't want to say zero interest, but this is not any kind of marketing ploy. This is not Tribune Review. This is none of that stuff. This is basically just talk for the sake of talk.
Did you
And
see
wouldn't-
that David Kaplan actually has a TikTok now, and I was like screwing around with his account. He's only got like 4 or 5 TikToks. I think he just signed up, so I made this stupid video.
Hey, Cubs fans, what do you think this is? Fantasy Island? Anthony Rizzo is not coming back to the Chicago Cubs.
It's so stupid. That's the bottom half of my face and the top half of his. And it's funny because Kaplan, he used the Fantasy Island theme music. And
very
then,
loudly too.
Yeah. He doesn't know what he's doing on TikTok yet. We need both me and him. We need to take TikTok classes. I think we need to like get some like teenagers to like teach us how this. He's got younger kids. I think he needs to get his kids to teach him how to use
I
it.
had my daughter try to teach me, and I gave up real quick.
It's pretty fun. In fact, I've got actually big ideas for the Son Ranto show. I know we're going to be like TikTok stars, gentlemen. As soon as I get my NFTs off the ground, I'm hiring a production crew.
Yeah, I tried to I tried to get something going for that beer, the 24 beers, but I had to give up on those 24 beers because they were terrible.
yeah. Well, all you learn your Christmas lesson from your holiday Lifetime movie is to never buy one of those Advent beer wreaths again.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
Advent
just
beer calendar
terrible.
from Aldi. It was just all Aldi beer.
Oh man, that was all Aldi beer. I don't think I realized that.
Well, it's the beer that you can buy at Aldi, and some of it's from Wisconsin, some's from Germany or whatever, but yeah, it's not your top shelf beers.
No, it didn't look like it. I mean, getting back to Rizzo, I wouldn't hate it. I really wouldn't. The guy's a great defensive first baseman. You need that in the infield, no matter what. For 3 years with the high AAV, I guess it's high. I mean, his market used to be much higher in his head. The rumors of what he turned down is much higher. And so I don't know. I don't hate that idea that he'd be here like in a Marcus Stroman-y way where you're paying him more for less time because, like, let's face it, he's still got some pop in the bat. I mean, it's not like he's bad now. You know what I mean? Like, he's still a really good baseball player. He's still one of the top first basemen in the major leagues. He's just not worth like some long Pujols like contract or what Correa will get, or maybe because he's on the wrong side of 30, but he's not bad.
Yeah, I would not mind. I would not mind having him back on the team because I like Rizzo, but I also want to make sure that it's not a situation. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want him coming back because that was the only place he could go. Because then he's going to be like all fucking salty. He's going to be kind of shitty. And
yeah, I mean, like I said, this is just fun stuff to talk about when there's nothing else to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, there's not like the Cubs are like committed to Schwindel long term. They're like, this is our guy. You know what I mean? They're looking for an upgrade down the line.
No, I seriously, I think that this is a story plant by his agent just to just to start to set some numbers out there for other teams to start looking at.
Well,
Michael, you can put the earmuffs on for a second, but Schwindel is a much better hitter than he is a fielder. So, I mean, if you were to get Rizzo, then Schwindel would clearly slot into the DH.
There's not an actual DH position on any team. That's not how the fucking DH is used. I mean, there's like three teams that have a DH, and everybody else just fucking moves people in and out. So, I mean, what the fuck are you doing with?
I think if Rizzo is on this team, Schwindel might not be on this team. You know, I don't see how you have both. You don't need two regular first basemen that are both left-handed, right? I mean,
I don't think it's happening.
You might it doesn't make that position, sense, you know, with a good fielder or something. But anyway, there is other news. John Hicks, who you ask, backup catcher John Hicks was just signed by the Cubs to a minor league deal. I think this is so the Cubs don't get caught totally flat-footed like they did last year, where they used like 74 catchers. I could have said 69, but I didn't.
Well, there were 69 players.
Yeah, perfect. It was the perfect number to have a not so nice season. But this guy's a backup catcher. He was with Detroit. I mean, the most he ever played was 95 games in 2019. He didn't play in 2020. I couldn't figure out why. Didn't care enough to it wasn't apparent within the first 5 Google hits. So I was like, I don't care. Why he didn't play in 2020. But there are a lot of people named John Hicks. I'll tell you that much.
That's just I mean, you see anything in 2020? Oh, he did play or he didn't play. I don't know. You just don't even fucking worry about it. You know, whatever. Oh, he didn't play. Probably because he didn't want to.
But I've got his numbers up right now from Baseball Reference. He's got a little pop in the bat. He's going to start at AAA. I mean, I don't know. There's nothing. You got Yan Gomes as your backup to Wilson. Kind of see how that goes. I don't even know if they're still thinking about shopping Wilson, if they're going to blow up that part of the team, or, you know, we haven't even talked about that.
They're going to hang on to Wilson and just let him walk for nothing again. Just like they do with everybody else.
Another Blue Friday coming.
Yeah.
It'll actually be Blue Saturday this year, given the calendar. To write a whole new song. So anyway, John Hicks, new backup catcher. Anybody have anything to say about this guy?
No. Meaningless projections.
Yeah. OPS plus of 146 last year with Texas, though. 10 games. Yeah, meaningless projections came up. This comes
I can't believe that they put these out there.
Yeah, via Fangraphs. I'm like, you guys, I mean, there's a reason I didn't make the Ranter calendar this year so far. I'm going to make one, but I'm waiting for there to be a schedule that I can put in the actual calendar. You cannot make projections, Fangraphs, of the standings with the win and the losses. It makes no sense because the teams aren't even close to set. There's a million really good free agents still out there. It's just ridiculous. But they have the Cubs at 76 and 86, which, hey, I mean, that's what they look like right now to me too.
Yeah. Everybody's on this and kind of, ragging on them for doing this because this was stupid. If they wanted to do something like this, they should have really had some fun and just put random numbers in there. Like each division actually has a different number of games. So it's like, one's like 54 and 48. And then, another one is like 100 and, 53, like just weird shit, just to have fun with it.
A work stoppage into the season, or like some crazy COVID outbreak with a variant or something, you might see some crazy win and loss numbers. We've seen this in the last few years.
This is no different than Inside the Clubhouse. Inside the Clubhouse is a radio show. You have sponsorship deals. The people that run all these things, whether you're talking about,
Crowley, that's why I said they should have had fun with it.
Right.
Instead of fucking taking it all serious, like 162 games. This sounds.
But I just laughed that people got upset about it.
It should have just been they should have projected that there was only going to be 69 games.
Right. But see, when you're talking about Fangraphs or when you're talking about Baseball Perspective or you're talking about these things, they kind of have a little hoity-toity to them. It's I don't know what the Son Ranto equivalent of that would be. Maybe the Heckler would probably be the closest, but generally they have to kind of be respectable like. And so they're using whatever data they have, which obviously is very incomplete when when it's nothing there, but they have to put stuff out. They can't sit there and put Crawley's bobblehead collection on their show.
As I said, I agree.
Your bobblehead collection is literally pictures of all the bobbleheads. It's not your collection.
Yeah,
it's the pictures of every bobble. They could run that for every team, and honestly, people would be more.
No, these are mine. These are
it.
pictures of all mine.
Oh, but I thought you were doing all every whatever fucking
everyone that he has.
No. I did every one the Cubs have ever released, which I have them all.
Oh, you have them all. Okay. Well, regardless, they could have just done that for every team, and that would have been more engaging and actually produced more content than this stupid fucking thing where everybody made fun of them.
Yeah, well, yeah, everybody did make fun of them. But I don't disagree with what they have the Cubs at, which is 4th place ahead of the Pirates in 76 wins. Because technically, if you look at the current Cubs roster, you could see that totally happening. They have the Cardinals taking the division, which is disheartening, with the Brewers right behind them. And they have the Braves repeating, the Dodgers back up there. This is not rocket science here. This is kind of obvious stuff with some strong teams, Astros, White Sox, Yankees,
Honestly, if it was me, the only thing I would switch is I would put the Brewers ahead of the Cardinals. That'd be my switch.
I think the Brewers are ahead of the Cardinals as well. It's a 1-game switch, so that's easy to say. But I also think the Pirates lose 100 games. I don't think that 94 is happening.
So I guess they're high on some of their prospects then, if they've got them actually doing that much better, or they're so low on the NL Central that our teams are so terrible that we're going to actually lose a lot of games to the Pirates next year, because basically where they have young, promising rookies, we've got rookies that are all 33 freaking years old. Because remember, last year they were 31. Now they're going to be turning 32, 33.
Well, if you notice, though, on that little sheet, I believe that it was the AL West, 4 of the 5 teams are all at 500.
Yeah.
Like the winning team is like 83 games. Oh, 91. Then it's 81 and 81, 80 and 82, 80 and 82. It's like, they're fucking flipping coins right there. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. It just seemed like a ridiculous thing to put out. And then the last bit of like MLB-ish news is about the lockout. I'm glad we didn't lead with that, because I'm sick of talking about it. It's been, you know what today is? Today is the 69th day of the lockout. That was pointed out by Brett Taylor.
You needed to have the Fergie drop for that one.
Oh, yeah.
69th best day of the lockout.
The 69th best day of the MLB lockout. I'm looking for right now. Did I erase it accidentally? Oh, no. That was a good enough impression right there anyway. It's fine. Oh, here's.
This is Fergie Jenkins. You're listening to Son Ranto, the 69th Beth Cup podcast.
That makes me laugh every time.
The man is a treasure. So yeah, lockout news. I'm glad we haven't been talking about it, but it's been 69 days of lockout, and they're trying to now blame Scott Boras. The owners are. It's getting ugly. They're really far apart. And then the owners said that they want to involve the feds, get the feds in on this whole thing, and the players said no. And I don't know.
I'm glad the players said no. Fuck them. They haven't done the owners haven't done a single thing to really try to move this forward. And then they're like, well, let's bring in somebody else. No. How about you just do your job?
So the article did a fantastic piece on talking about this variation. This very same thing happened in 94. That the mediators came in, the federal mediators, and it was just an absolute shit show. Like they basically tried to scrap free agency.
Well for everyone.
Yeah, it was just, and so basically these guys don't know the intricacies of of baseball. Clearly, they're just guys that are coming in to try to get everyone to be nice to each other. And basically, they take like a King Solomon approach, where it's like, let's split the baby in half. And it's like, no, there's a lot of different babies, and we're not dividing this up. And so, when you bring the feds in, it'll be. The players are trying to get more for their younger players. They're trying to get more, a lot of different things that they're trying to get changed. And so if the owners sit there and the feds come in and say, well, we'll do a little bit of what the owners want, and a little bit of the players want, that's not going to be good enough. And if the players don't accept it, then it's a huge PR victory for the owners. And so that's why the players have no desire to do any of that.
But yeah, and they shouldn't. I mean,
well, the players are out there kind of winning the battle of public opinion right now, which is nice to see.
Thank God.
Yeah. Thanks to players like the Cubs' Marcus Stroman, which is really freaking awesome, calling him man clown and stuff like that's beautiful. he doesn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like these
I
are
do
his
love
bosses.
that. Yeah,
these are like literally his bosses that he's been like, fuck you, man clown. You need my pitching. Like I'm a big star, dude. Sorry.
I saw this tweeted out and I replied to it. MLB is ready to work around the clock. Rob Manfred, December 2nd. So that's when the lockout starts, December 2nd. And it's kind of hard to see here, but it's not until like the middle of January that they decide to have a conversation and a couple more conversations. And then in February, they're begging for federal mediators. It literally is.
It was like 40 some days between the start of the lockout to their very first like counter offer, because the players had an offer day one, right?
So December 2nd, the lockout begins.
Yeah.
January 22nd was the first economic negotiation. 2004, the MLB, the 24th of January, MLB union meets. Yeah. 25th, MLB union swaps proposals. MLB union swap proposals on the 1st of February, and then the 3rd, the owners seek federal mediation. So basically it's like 3 meetings is all they did since December 2nd.
And they haven't given any offers. The players are the ones giving all the offers, and the players
they've given offers, but they've been shit offers. They've been they've been non-starters.
Well, and I would say that because we have all the details of kind of what the players are asking for, like the anti-tanking rules that they want to be put in place and things like that. They're trying to make this game better and get a larger share and share it more equitably amongst all the players in the major league. So that you're going to have your dudes that are going to be making, 20, 30, $40 million a year in these huge contracts. But most of the guys are making league minimum, and they're looking out for these guys because it is most of the people. And right now you get a situation where you got Chris Bryant winning Rookie of the Year, making the league minimum. And he's not getting any extra money, any bonus pool. And the players are asking for, like, can these guys access a certain amount of money? And it's, what do they want? 100 million. The owners offer 10. Like, that's
right.
not negotiating.
It's like not a non-starter.
Yeah, it's like, Carl, I'm going to come to your house and be like, you're asking $100 for a bobblehead, and I show up at your house and be like, I'll give you $5 for it. You're not going to be like, okay, let's haggle. You're like, get out of my freaking house, you clown.
Right. So Max Scherzer is leading the players, and he said, we don't need mediation because we are offering to MLB as fair for both sides. He further goes on to say, we want a system where threshold and penalties don't function as caps. So the luxury tax that we've been talking about allows younger players to realize more of their market value, which are the bonuses that you just brought up, and make service time manipulation, which happened to Chris Bryant, among other players, a thing of the past, and eliminate tanking as a winning strategy. That's what the players want.
Yeah. And that makes the game better. All those things. And this is the quote if you're watching at home. And if there's anybody to represent the players right now, I think he's the one, because is there a more tenacious kind of pitcher right now on the mind? I mean,
he's got the 2 different colored eyes and shit.
Well, I was just going to say, you do not want to sit across a table and look into those eyes.
And then you got the doofus, you got the doofus owner from Colorado leading their negotiations.
Oh well, no wonder the guy from Colorado's like, I don't freaking know what to do. Let's call the feds. I don't know. Let's work in '94. That's what my friend told me on the golf course. Well, I don't want to talk about the lockout anymore. It's depressing anyway. But let's take another quick commercial break and be back in a minute. And then we'll pinch off this episode by looking at Crawley's bobbleheads in the bracket. Here's a commercial for Son Ranto Shopping.
If you're like most Americans, you buy shit. Lots of shit. Sometimes you buy shit for other people. Sometimes you buy shit for yourself. And sometimes you buy shit you have to buy just to stay alive. So why not buy shit through the Son Ranto affiliate? Links at sonranto.com/shopping. We've got tons of shit you can buy. Go to sonranto.com, click on the shopping link, then click our ads and buy shit. We've got Amazon. They've got tons of shit. But you can also buy MLB shit, NBA shit, NFL shit, Fans Ed shit, Southwest Airlines shit, Fanatic shit, Reebok shit, Wine of the Month shit, Beer of the Month shit, Bear Mattress shit, StubHub shit, Lid shit, Sports Memorabilia shit, Volcanica coffee shit, Vibrator shit, condom shit, bag shit, NHL shit, and Audible membership shit. There's a whole lot of shit that can help the Son Ranto Show stay on the air so we can keep talking shit. So buy shit today through sonranto.com/shopping. Thanks. Cubs Jesus thinks you're the shit.
You know, I've never said, but I really love the picture of me at the end of that. I like that a lot. I want that. Like, I looked mean in that picture.
I found some shit you could buy this week through one of our affiliate links. Check out this Aaron Miles baseball bat. $326.99. Game used, everybody. Over at sportsmemorabilia.com. He went 0 for 3 in a series versus the Dodgers with this bat. Can I ask you who would buy this?
Aaron Miles' mom.
And what a shitty picture, too. The thing looks deformed. It looks like it's a bubble gum bat and it got warm and sort of warped.
Yeah, and I mean, and Aaron Miles is just it's one of those kind of those Cubs that signify a bad year. You know, you're like, oh, remember the Aaron Miles year? Like, oh, that was rough. You know, every time you think of Aaron Miles, you think of something bad. Like, I don't know who would buy that except for his mom, but it is for sale through our affiliate.
Bad, like, who's Aaron Miles?
Yeah, that's what most people would say. So, Carl, you got a big old contest going on, which I'm excited about. I've had fun looking at all this stuff because you own every bobblehead that the Cubs ever put out, and you got a bracket going on.
This is a March Madness style tournament, and it's updated. Basically, every 4 hours, new matchups come up, and you got 24 hours to vote for the bobbleheads of your choice. The only rule is that the Cubs had to put it out. Couldn't have been a minor league affiliate. Couldn't be a retail bobblehead. So it's only the Cubs stuff. And so the bracket's going on right now. And so kind of crazy, but I'm having fun with it. But let me see if I can
I'm gonna put
share the screen right here.
there.
Here's the bracket right here live.
Yeah, this is the bracket live. You see you got Super Yu Darvish versus from 2020 versus 2015 Joe Madden, Chris Bryant versus Babe Ruth.
Right. If you look at the far left, that's what we're finishing up in the next 24 hours. So that is round one of the playing game. So the shittiest of the shitty bobbleheads.
Lou Piniella versus Sammy Sosa.
Right. These are the really, really bad ones. And then you kind of scroll down and as it starts to go on, you start to see a lot better bobbleheads. The Ben Zobrist from 2017, the Jason Hayward from 2018. 2008 had some good bobbles. Sutcliffe's first night game. So we're still waiting the results. Ryan Sandberg beat the Empire Man bobblehead 72-28. So this is going to keep kind of going
encouraging.
On. Yeah, it's closer than I thought. And then, it's
2-300.
Right. So these are all literally different bobbleheads that the Cubs have had. And so I did keep, Danny asked for a couple of the worst ones there. We can kind of put these up here. You can take a look. This is what the Cubs did release one year. This was the Empire Man. And it has
the phone number right on the bottom.
Crawley, how much would this set me back? Because I kind of want the Empire guy. Like that's
I can get you an Empire guy, dude. If you want one, I can get you one. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, dude. I'd take an Empire guy.
It'll set you back $5. This one is the
all you got to do is clean Ron Santos' cake, a little bit of cake off of it. And
This is the first bobblehead the Cubs ever released. It's Sammy Sosa. Doesn't really look like him.
What?
That's Sammy Sosa. That was released in
like him.
That was released in 2001.
Looks like Minnie
I'm sorry. Yeah, this is 2001. So that's the 2001 Sammy Sosa.
I feel that was. Oh man, we're gonna get canceled for that one. Woo!
This is the Kyle Farnsworth 2002.
What's he looking at? His head's all pointing to the sky. Is he broken?
Hey, Danny, do you see the sponsor plate?
Cub Foods.
Oh yeah.
Does the Cub Foods still exist?
I do not believe they. Not that I know of. One of the worst years was 2007. This was the Michael Barrett bobblehead.
Oh my God, he's got like buck teeth.
Who? Yeah, you look at it, you're like, who is this person? You don't know who that is.
You have no idea. None of these guys look anything like who they are.
This is why they're in the play-in round, just so you know. 2016 was a good year for the Cubs, bad year for the bobbleheads. This is the classic Chris Bryant Rookie of the Year. Some people call him Ichiro. Other people call him Tyler Saladino.
That totally is just all they did is grab their Ichiro mold. I swear to God, I've seen that Ichiro bobblehead.
Yeah, well, I think he looks like John Waters, personally.
This is 2016 Kyle Schwarber, who infield fly girl thought looked like Kosuke Fukudome.
I thought that too.
Oh, I saw that. I had no freaking clue. I was trying to figure out who it might be.
That was the scoreboard home run. 2014, they did 10 bobbleheads, but this is Kerry Wood, who doesn't look anything like Kerry Wood.
It's like Matt Merton.
So
yeah, a little bit like Matt Merton. I was going to say Rob Zastryzny just because nobody knows what that guy actually looks like.
And then we'll finish with 2002. So 2002, 2007, and 2016 were by far the worst bobblehead years. We'll finish with this Ryan Sandberg here.
Wait a second. Isn't that the catcher Michael Barrett? Isn't that Michael Barrett? That's just
this is Michael Barrett right here.
I don't know. There's the same
Sandberg here.
Oh my God! It looks like Herman Munster. Oh, so
if you go to Crawley's Cubs, you'll see it. You can vote, and hopefully, like I said, this playing round's been funny because it's been a lot of bad bobbleheads, but as we go on, once we get to the some of the good ones and the good matchups, I'm very excited. Especially some of the teams that look.
Kerry Wood looks like Crane Kenny from Lil Yumper.
But
that's the only way Crane Kenny was ever going to get his own bobblehead.
As we move on, you guys are going to see a lot of the really cool ones kind of come out. So these ones that are getting in are going to be quickly eliminated in the second round. This was more like the play-in.
Well, it's a lot of fun.
It is. It's crazy.
I know
and
it's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun.
If you like bobbleheads, it's funny because you do go down memory lane, and you can just kind of see some of the weaker years, like 2009. They went with old Hall of Famers.
Well, you're just seeing the evolution of bobbleheads back when they were basically fucking Lego guys.
You would think features. That, but 2008 is one of my favorite years, which is 1 year after all the weird Michael Barrett ones. 2008 are just some phenomenal bobbleheads that you look at, you're like, holy shit! So.
It's who was designing them. It's all specific to
the company that they were using.
Because whoever's buying them from the Cubs obviously did not have a discerning eye unless that person changed for a year. Because you see that like with some of the hats that they're putting out these days that are just these monstrosities that just because you're selling this merch, they just kind of slap a C on so much. David Elliott writes in. Shit, we didn't sell enough of the Michael Barrett bobbleheads. Turn the helmet around and call him Ryan Sandberg. So we got some good news, although we already knew it, is that Joe West officially retired. But really the news of the week was Fergie Jenkins, who chimed in when at Fox Sports MLB tweeted that out. MLB umpire Joe West has officially retired. Fergie Jenkins retweeted that and said, whenever he called games I pitched, I used to call him Ray Charles. Sunglass emojis.
That's awesome. Fergie coming through as the first TFC. That's a full-on TFC right there. And I have a couple more that I got on Reddit based on that actual tweet. A dude says, sick burn. But it's an insult to the late, great Ray Charles.
It is.
Charles was actually good. And then somebody responds to him, yeah, he probably would have been a pretty lousy ump, though. I mean, not Joe West bad, but still.
Now, we were just talking about how much fun Stroman is to follow on Twitter. Same exact article, MLB umpire Joe West retires. Stroman writes, shout out to Joe West. What a legend. The game will definitely miss you. Loved our interactions always. Hope retirement brings you nothing but happiness and blessings. And former pitcher Brandon McCarthy said, you don't have to do this. He can't hurt you anymore. Although
like
Stroman did reply, "Ha ha ha." He can still call his buddies though. LOL. But you guys all remember that John Baker said that Joe West was his favorite ump. We were talking about robot umps.
And Stroh said,
but that's your favorite person may not be the best at his job.
Yeah. Well, Stroh.
I mean,
also
people
said
like me,
he
and
didn't
I
care.
suck at most things.
Well, you're nobody's favorite person either.
Oh shit! Well, I suck at that first.
Even your kids like your wife more.
I know.
But no, Stroh even said that on the Zoom call that he didn't even care who was the umpire. He did not get into that at all. He's like, I got my job to do is to make my pitches. So it's funny. You would think that some of the players know all these guys and really care, and other people try to tune it out. So,
right.
But yeah, I mean, I think we're all happy that Joe's gone. I wanted to play a clip tonight because we had talked about doing something for Black History Month, which it is right now. And I was watching some of these clips from 2020's John Baker Day, and I just wanted to play a clip about Buck O'Neil from Mr. Bob Kendrick when we were on there with John just a few years ago. So I just want to play that clip real quick, and then we're going to announce, the hashtag Chance in the chat, win a Frank Chance postcard from me sent to you. And anyway, I'm just going to play this, and then we're going to make some announcements. Here goes.
It was the charisma, the energy, the passion, the love that he had for human beings. And I tell people all the time, guys, had the players from the Negro Leagues been bitter about the things that transpired in their lives, every one of us would have said, well, you got every right to be bitter. But to a player I've ever met, none of them harbored any bitterness. And Buck was the ringleader of this. He just had this innate ability to love everybody universally. And it just exuded such joy that it just kind of spilled over on you. I recall days when he would bop in here to the museum, and here I am now. I'm 50 years younger than Buck, and I'm getting ready to get on the elevator to come up one floor. And here comes Buck running up the stairs in his 90s. And all of a sudden, you're like, well, man, I can't get on the elevator. I got to go with Buck. And so that's the way that he was. And he was a tremendous leader of men, and which is why he was such a successful manager with the Monarchs, a great coach there with the Cubs when he got that opportunity. And George Altman, who played there in Chicago with the Cubs for many years, Buck brought him over to the Cubs. And George Altman spent time in the major leagues, played in Negro Leagues, but also spent time in the major leagues, then would go on to play in Latin America, and then had a great career in Japan. And he still says today that Buck O'Neil was the best manager he ever played for. So he understood men. He knew, John, when he needed to put his arm around you, and he knew when he needed to kick you in your rump. And that's a special gift. But people ask me all the time, what do you remember most about Buck? What struck you most about Buck? And all the great stories that he shared with me that I get to share today. But the thing that I think I embrace the most is this very simple notion. You always felt better leaving Buck than you did when you came to see him.
I just thought we play that because Buck, I think the Cubs now, I think that we've got a good shot that the Cubs might do something in very soon. And if they don't, we're going to just keep pounding that drum for Buck O'Neil to kind of get his comeuppance.
Yeah, hit him up with the hashtag fly the 53. Get that flag out there.
We got to get something going. Maybe this year around May 3rd, we could kind of get like a Twitter thing going and fly the 53 and celebrate that day. It might be a good day to do something. Hopefully there's baseball then. All right, couple quick announcements. I forgot to announce the Patreon prize of this month. We're going to give away a special set of these 4 Bleacher Bum Band glasses. You get 4 of them, a set of them to drink Malort out of, but it's only for Patreon patrons at the $5 level. We're going to give it away the first show during March, and you could win this shot glass, set of 4 shot glasses. Also wanted to point out that I saw that some of people's Patreons expired. So if you're unsure if your credit card is up to date on your Patreon subscription, check it out, because it was crazy. We're at like 109, then we were down to 104, then it sprung back to 107. I was like topsy turvy. I thought, I'm like, what did Michael say that got everybody to cancel? I knew it was something.
All I'm telling you guys is that the Patreon subscribers got the Zoom link to listen to Marcus Stroman. So, hey, you know what? Is that the people that are helping us the most are going to get the most benefit out of things. So right down there, you can go on there now and you can sign up and help us out a little bit, and we'll reciprocate.
Every dime goes right back into the show, or at least tickets and beer. I can guarantee you that, or trips to Detroit where Danny almost kills himself on a scooter. But I also wanted to point out this just as a special, like a lockout special. For a limited time, anybody that ups their pledge to the $5 level, or anybody who's who is joined at the $5 level or above to our Patreon will also receive a Bleacher Bum Band shot glass. This will now be part of the Patreon perks, because I got a bunch of shot glasses. I want people drinking out of them. I want you getting drunk during our shows. So you need shot glasses to do that with. Also, another new Patreon thing we're doing is the Son Ranto singles. I've been putting those out. Michael's been sending those to me, and I think it's something that me and Crawley can also do. It's just anything you want to think about. It doesn't have to be a history Cubs thing, or it just could be like me talking about whether the Cubs should get Rizzo, just because I'm spouting out for want to do something about that real quick. We're going to be doing a lot more of that. That's all going to go out through Patreon too. So that's been cool. And I also wanted to mention that the Martyrdom of Peter Ohay got Jeff recommended, so we're pretty excited about that. That's our show at Trapdoor Theater. So if you want tickets to that, it's trapdoortheater.com. That's theater with an R-E. The tickets are actually selling really fast. So it's only Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's only 5 weeks left. We'd love it if y'all came and saw it, because it's a really cool show. And we're going to do our Colorcast show right now, pretty much. And Colorcast is an app that we're going to be using to kind of go live with you and have a conversation with you. It works a little bit different than how Green Room worked. So what we have to do is just have everybody show up, follow Son Ranto Show. You'll be notified when we go live on Colorcast, which will be in about 10 minutes. And then it's only for iOS users, and we'll all just get together over there, and we'll have a post-show discussion about all the things we talked about, or whatever the hell else we feel like talking about the rest of the night. And once again, chance for a chance in the chat. We can give away that postcard sent to you by me real soon. But first, does anybody have any TFCs besides everything that Marcus Stroman and Fergie said?
Do.
Yeah, no, I blew mine early.
This one right here, I got Decipio.com. I got to always just kind of shout out to
and he said the name right and everything. Good. You've been practicing that.
I've been practicing in the mirror. Jordan Bastian said Cubs announced 2022 minor league staff and coordinators. And one of those names came across Eric Patterson, brother of Corey Patterson. So Decipio writes, Eric Patterson is the rookie league hitting coach. Do these kids really need extra instruction at how to swing at things in the dirt and over their heads?
So that's where they learned it from. That's why the guys are doing that. That's crazy.
Danny, you got one or no?
Is he the coach, or is he a coach? Like, he could just be the example. They're like, Eric, go out there and swing.
Yeah, don't
do that.
Yeah. So, I got one here. The Chicago Cubs, they tweeted out on January 31st, looking to experience the best matchups throughout the season. Secure your 2022 ticket packs today. And Mike Air wrote back, contacting a federal mediator about your beer prices. So I can't see it because of contacting a federal mediator about your beer prices. So good burn, Mike Air.
So that's got to be the new costume, right? When you go to the game, one of your friends dresses up in a suit and has a little like, hi, I'm a federal mediator. And whenever you talk to anybody, he steps in. He's like, hold on. Let me talk about this.
That's got to be the next obvious shirt. Federal mediator. Like how they have
there it is.
Teacher, bullpen catcher. Yeah, and I got one more. Unless you got another one, Crawley. Do you?
Our good friend Alex Pat has returned to Twitter as Shy Fan Pat 2. He says, "Hey Cub fans, if there is one element of Wrigley Field that is no longer there that you would want to be put back, which one would it be?" And it was a Twitter poll. And Torque Penderloin says a competitive baseball team.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
And
one thing we're really missing.
Lastly, this shirt was brought to my attention recently that I just wanted to show everybody. I'll describe it to the podcast listeners. It is a T-shirt of that somebody made of Yadier Molina in a baby. What do you call that? Like a harness?
A baby Bjorn.
If you remember, this is from The Hangover, the movie The Hangover. How Zach Galifianakis had that baby that was strapped to his belly all the time.
Yeah, exactly. It's that same thing, except for it's Yadier Molina as the baby with his little hat on backwards, and it says Yachty right on his chest.
The only thing that would make it better is if there was a little baseball stuck to the thing
To the chest.
right above Yachty. There's a little baseball on his chest too.
Oh man, I love it. Well, so are we ready to give a chance for a chance?
Let's do it.
I think it's time. Let me find the proper giveaway tool.
Quick hashtag
here.
chance. Here we go.
Hey, get hashtag chance, capital C, by the way. I don't know if it matters, but we're gonna draw it. Let's see who wins the postcard of Frank Chance. Here it comes. Here it comes.
John Vasky wins again.
Again. Oh,
This is-
man. I just wrote that guy. Now I have nothing else to say to him.
I know. It's like it's just John and Artie. That's the
Exactly.
only ones they're
They deserve
somehow they're getting in more often than everyone else.
Yeah, I don't know. I there might be something. There might be something wrong with
Because
this thing.
if you noticed, it looked like he was going to end on Artie, and at the last second, it just switched to
Artie won
John.
before too.
Twice.
Yeah. I think the fact is we only have 4 people watching the show right now. And it's only those guys, and that's kind of why they keep winning. Yeah, and I see something in the chat.
John Vasky says, "I bouchered it."
Cindy Spangler writes into the chat. So that's only the $5 amount, Danny, and I think that she's talking about the shot glass that we're sending.
Yeah,
$5 and above. Anybody
Yeah.
$5 and above. Anybody that's joined this year or upgrades your membership from what it is below that to $5 will receive the shot glass.
If you're at $5 and you decide to jump that up to $10,
I'll send you 2.
yeah. Well,
I'll send you 80 shot
I'm
glasses.
trying to like move this along here with one, and Danny's like, "I'll give you all of them
Yeah,
for $5."
and an anti-racist shirt from 2020. So, all right. Well, thanks for everybody for tuning in. We're going to be, and nobody has any more TFCs, right?
That's it, my friend.
That's it. All right, good. So, all right. So we're going to end this. We're going to go over to Colorcast, and you can check us out over there. I'm going to leave you all with just 15 seconds of the Lost Boys jamming on Saturday. This was, I went in there and had 2 loopers. I had all these percussion toys, and we jammed out, and I took a couple of videos, and I did this for 4 hours straight. So if let me tell you, I took a beautiful, well-earned nap after the 4 hours of listening to, a significant amount of noise with these guys. But check this out. It's I don't have a song this week, so we're going to hear the Lost Boys jam real quick. So Spagog, everybody.
Spago.
Go!